To understand One More Day, you have to understand what came before it. During Marvel's Civil War, Tony Stark asked Peter Parker to unmask on live television as a show of support for the Superhero Registration Act. Peter did it. He stood in front of cameras and told the world his name. And for a moment it looked like a courageous act of trust. Then the Kingpin ordered a hit on Peter Parker. A sniper's bullet was meant for Peter. It hit Aunt May instead. She survived the shot. But she didn't wake up. She lay in a hospital, machines keeping her alive, and the prognosis was that she was not coming back. Peter Parker spent weeks trying to fix it. He went to Tony Stark, who had been funding him. Stark turned him away. Their relationship had collapsed after the war. Peter went to Reed Richards. He went to Doctor Strange. He went to every hero and every healer he could reach, and the answer was always the same. May's injury was physical. There was no magic fix. There was no technological solution. She was dying, and nothing Peter Parker could do would stop it. This is Amazing Spider-Man 544 and 545, with tie-in issues of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man 24 and Sensational Spider-Man 41. Written by J. Michael Straczynski, concluded by Joe Quesada. One More Day. The most controversial Spider-Man story ever written. There is a strange moment early in issue 544. A little girl approaches Peter outside the hospital. She seems to know him. She says things she shouldn't know. And then she disappears. Straczynski never names her outright, but the implication is that she is May Parker, Peter's daughter from a possible future. A future that will never happen if the woman in that hospital room dies. She is not there to give Peter a solution. She is there to tell him that some things cannot be saved. That he has to let go. Peter cannot let go. And that is when Mephisto appears. Mephisto is Marvel's devil. He is not interested in ordinary souls. What he collects, across centuries, are the rarest things in the universe: genuine love, real sacrifice, bonds that were never supposed to exist. And in all his time, he has never seen anything quite like Peter and Mary Jane. What they have is, by his reckoning, a once-in-eternity thing. He wants it. His offer is precise. He will save May's life, not just stabilize her, but restore her fully, no strings to her health. In exchange, he takes their marriage. Not a divorce. A deletion. Their love will be erased from the fabric of reality. No one will remember that Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson were ever together. The 20 years of history, the wedding, the moments between them, all of it gone. Including their own memories. Peter says no. He says no multiple times. Mary Jane says no. They sit together in that hospital and they go over every angle of it and they keep arriving at no. There is a scene in issue 545 illustrated by Joe Quesada, who stepped in to finish the arc after Straczynski removed his name from the credits in protest of the ending, where Peter and MJ sit in the dark and talk through what they're being asked to give up. It is a quiet scene. There is no action. It is just two people who love each other trying to find a reason not to destroy that love to save someone else's life. They cannot find the reason. Before the deal is sealed, Mary Jane pulls Mephisto close and whispers something in his ear. The reader never hears it. We never find out what she said. It is one of the most discussed mysteries in Spider-Man history. Whatever it was, Mephisto smiles. And the world rewrites itself. Peter Parker wakes up in his old apartment. He is not married. He has never been married. Aunt May is in the kitchen making breakfast. Harry Osborn, who died years earlier, is alive, calling to invite Peter to a party. Peter's secret identity is restored. No one knows he's Spider-Man. Everything is as it was before Civil War. Before the marriage. Before 20 years of growth. The backlash was immediate and has never fully stopped. Michael Straczynski, the writer, publicly stated he disagreed with the direction and asked to have his name taken off the final issue. Joe Quesada, then Marvel's editor-in-chief, finished the story himself and defended it, arguing that the marriage had aged Peter Parker in ways that made him less relatable, and that this was the only way to reset him. Whether that argument holds up is something readers still argue about. What is not debatable is the impact. One More Day launched Brand New Day, a weekly Amazing Spider-Man series that reset Peter Parker's entire life. It eventually led to Dan Slott's decade-long run in the Superior Spider-Man saga, one of the most acclaimed stretches of Spider-Man comics ever published. The deal with Mephisto worked, in a sense. Not for Peter, but for the character. And somewhere in the new timeline, Peter Parker goes through his days with the persistent, inexplicable feeling that something important is missing from his life. He doesn't know what it is. He can't name it. He just knows it's gone. One more day. The worst thing that ever happened to Spider-Man. And the story that made the next decade possible.